how did Iran's newly elected president, Ibrahim Raisi, a hardline judge known for his loyalty to Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, rise to power? And why does his election matter to the world? Let me paint the picture. Ibrahim Raisi, a judge known for his staunch loyalty to Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, has ascended to Iran's presidency. His rise to power is a significant event, marked by a blend of praise and disdain on the international stage. This hardline leader is no stranger to controversy, with US sanctions on his record for alleged human rights abuses. The global reactions to Raisi's election are as diverse as they are telling. From Israel's prime minister viewing this as a last chance for the world to reconsider the nuclear agreement with Iran, to Russian President Vladimir Putin's optimism for further constructive bilateral cooperation. In the Middle East, leaders from the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Kuwait, and Oman have all extended their congratulations, expressing wishes for stability and prosperity. Yet, amid the political responses, human rights organizations have voiced their concerns. Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch have called for investigations into Raisi's alleged involvement in crimes against humanity. In contrast, President-elect of the Paris-based National Council of Resistance of Iran, Mariam Rajavi, has outright condemned Raisi, labeling him a criminal against humanity and a bid by Supreme Leader Khamenei to preserve his regime. On the other hand, Palestinian militant groups like Hamas and Islamic Jihad have praised Iran's democratic process and expressed support for Iran's commitment to the Palestinian cause. With Raisi's election, the political landscape in the Middle East is poised for significant changes. So, what does President Raisi's election mean for the ongoing conflict in Gaza? A question that's been on the minds of many since Ibrahim Raisi, a hardline judge loyal to Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, was elected as the new president of Iran. Known for his staunch stance on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, Raisi has called for action, not just words, on Gaza. Raisi's views are deeply rooted in his allegiance to the supreme leader, and his perspective on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is no exception. He strongly supports Palestinian militant groups, such as Hamas and Islamic Jihad, and their commitment to the Palestinian cause. His support for these groups was further highlighted when they congratulated Iran on the successful democratic process of electing Raisi as the new president. Raisi's call for action, not just words on Gaza, is a significant shift from the previous diplomatic rhetoric. It's a call to arms, a call for tangible support rather than mere verbal solidarity. This shift indicates Raisi's willingness to play a more active role in the conflict, potentially leading to a more confrontational approach towards Israel. This stance comes amidst a recent escalation of violence in Gaza. Palestinian militants launched rockets towards Jerusalem in response to Israeli airstrikes in the Gaza Strip that resulted in dozens of deaths. The violence is the most serious since the 2021 war between Israel and Hamas. This escalation could potentially have significant implications for the region, especially considering Raisi's hardline stance. It's clear that Raisi's presidency signals a potential change in Iran's foreign policy towards the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. His call for action on Gaza is a distinct departure from the previous administration's approach, indicating a more assertive and possibly aggressive stance. As the region braces for the potential changes this could bring, one thing is clear. Raisi's strong stance on Gaza may herald a new era in Iran's foreign policy. In the face of increasing tensions, how are Muslim countries responding to Israel and the US? The answer is found in the upcoming gathering of 57 Muslim countries in Saudi Arabia. This summit isn't a mere diplomatic meeting. It's a testament to the unity and resolve of these nations as they deliberate on a counter-strategy against Israel and the US. The significance of this meeting cannot be overstated. It's a rare occasion when such a large number of Muslim-majority nations come together to discuss a common issue. The potential impact of this meeting on the region is immense, given the geopolitical influence these countries collectively wield. But what can we expect from this summit? One possibility is a unified stance against what these nations perceive as Israeli aggression and American complicity. This could manifest in several ways, from economic sanctions to diplomatic isolation. Another potential outcome is the formation of a collective bargaining entity. This could give Muslim-majority nations a more potent voice in international forums, allowing them to negotiate more effectively on matters concerning Israel and the US. It's important to note that these countries are not monolithic. They have diverse political systems, economies, and regional alliances. This diversity could lead to a variety of approaches towards the Israel-US nexus, making the outcome of the meeting unpredictable. Yet, regardless of the specific strategies that emerge, this meeting signifies a collective response that could shift the dynamics in the Middle East. It could lead to a more assertive role for Muslim countries in regional geopolitics, challenging the status quo and offering a counter-narrative to the existing Israel-US alliance. In conclusion, this meeting could be a game-changer in the Middle East's geopolitical landscape. It represents a moment of potential unity and strength among Muslim countries, and the decisions made could have far-reaching implications for the region and beyond. But what about the people on the ground? What's happening in Gaza? While political leaders strategize and negotiate, the situation in Gaza grows increasingly dire. In the wake of recent Israeli attacks, the region is grappling with a deepening humanitarian crisis. Hospitals, the very places intended for healing, have been caught in the crossfire, leading to unimaginable destruction and loss of life. Reports suggest that approximately 10,000 Palestinians have tragically lost their lives in these attacks. These are not just numbers, but individuals. Each one a father, a mother, a child, a friend. Each one a life cut short, a story left untold. The international community has not remained silent in the face of this crisis. Voices from around the globe have risen in outcry against these attacks. Calls for ceasefires and peace echo in the halls of international forums, seeking to bring an end to this cycle of violence. Yet, the situation on the ground remains painfully stark. With the power plant shut down, the region is grappling with electricity cuts and water treatment shutdowns. Imagine the struggle of ordinary people trying to carry on with their lives amidst such adversity. Everyday tasks we take for granted, like switching on a light or running a tap, have become monumental challenges. The basic human rights to clean water, healthcare, and safety are under threat as the people of Gaza face the harsh realities of conflict. Amid the rubble and ruin, the resilience of the human spirit shines through. Despite the adversity, the people of Gaza continue to hope, to dream, and to fight for a better future. The humanitarian crisis in Gaza is a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of conflict. It's a call to the world to not just watch, but to act, to not just sympathize, but to empathize, and most importantly, to not just hope for peace, but to work towards it. In this complex political puzzle, what roles do the leaders of Iran, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and Jordan play against Israel and the US? In the wake of the election of Iran's hardline president, Ibrahim Raisi, the Middle East is on the cusp of a new era. Raisi's staunch allegiance to Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei and his alleged involvement in human rights abuses have already sparked a wave of reactions from global leaders. From the heart of the Middle East, Saudi Arabia's stance is one to watch. The kingdom, known for its long-standing alliance with the US, could find itself in a diplomatic quandary, particularly if the meeting of the 57 Muslim countries leads to a significant counter-strategy against Israel and the US. Moving westwards to Egypt, the country's role as a mediator in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is significant. Egypt has often been a voice for de-escalation, and its position on the current crisis will be critical, especially considering Israel's recent escalation in Gaza. Jordan, on the other hand, shares a unique relationship with Israel, underpinned by a peace treaty signed more than 2 decades ago. However, the recent tensions could challenge this relationship, given Jordan's large Palestinian population and its role as the custodian of the Muslim and Christian holy sites in Jerusalem. The leaders of these nations are not spectators, but active chess players in this geopolitical game. Their actions and decisions will shape the future of the region, influencing alliances, strategies, and the course of the conflict itself. As we shift our gaze to the global stage, the responses from international leaders will be just as crucial. Whether it's Russian President Vladimir Putin hoping for constructive cooperation with Iran, or Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett warning against a nuclear agreement with Iran, the international community is closely watching the developments in the Middle East. These leaders are also under the watchful eye of human rights organizations. Institutions such as Human Rights Watch and Amnesty International are calling for investigations into Raisi's alleged involvement in crimes against humanity, Such global scrutiny adds another layer of complexity to the unfolding geopolitical drama. As the situation in the Middle East continues to evolve, the actions of these leaders could reshape the region's future. Their roles and decisions will not only affect their individual nations, but could also have far-reaching implications for international relations and global peace.